Sorry about that. Thank you. Huh. Part of PD that wants to insta-shoot and block entire blocks. That's pretty crazy. And some don't want to shoot and just do smaller areas. I don't fucking know.
Several people on the side of shoot everyone in the area literally walked out of the meeting after some statements were made calling them out.
Well, was it cops that play cop characters a lot that are on the side as well of like Hutch's side? Or is it like a lot of crim characters that don't play cop a lot that want that?
Holy shit.
Both? Okay. It was 2 people versus everyone.
I told you they're fucking waiting somewhere, bro.
It was Hutch and who versus the entire PD then?
That's like so.
Who?
Pretty cool to me. I think that way. I think that's like a whole crew.
Dean,
because
gotcha.
we're all organized and everything. It has to be.
And Minio. So crim characters.
Yeah, where you at?
I want to see this drama. Show me.
We're ready. No.
Show me some clips. Average barrier interaction.
You got a mental problem or something?
No, it's more of the fact that, you know, I just...
Okay, get the fuck out of here, dude. We have barriers for a fucking reason. If you want to start coming up to them, you test me, you will fucking find out. Leave now.
Snow, why don't you simply explain the barriers
leave,
for someone who hasn't heard of the barriers? Instead of... Did I cross? Did I cross them? Did I cross them? Did I cross them? I just woke up the first time, man. You're a psychopath with power, a moron.
Yeah, chat. I think all cops are stupid, dude.
Now, quick scenario for you. You know, I love these scenarios. You know, what if a T-Rex, you know, walked into the room type scenario. For BPD only, I know it's the legislation, but if you shoot an unarmed civilian, all right, because you have an itchy trigger finger like you just served 10 tours in Afghanistan, I will make sure you are on bike patrol for the next fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, you think so?
That's for BPD, but we have.
I mean, as long as the roads don't
can't
change
speak for
into
other
shitty ass
departments.
snow, like, I don't know. I think it'd be good. We
Just
tried
wanna
doing a
make
race
sure
in
you
that
guys
shit
know.
earlier, and
Question.
it was actually...
I have an announcement for CTD. If an unarmed person goes through that barrier, kill them and whoever they're with.
Thank you for being here
Perfect.
for us
And
once again. Much love, bro.
perfect. Kill
I
them.
just
Kill
got
them.
over the worst flu, but feeling okay now.
The bears.
Kind of crazy, like how different the RP is nowadays, even on the cops end.
Yeah, but they all race?
No.
Literally say do
Okay.
not cross on them.
Yeah, if you go past the barriers legislation, is like at that point we can't stand there and start checking if they're in an active shooter zone, and you can't start checking them if they have the gun or not. If they come past that barrier, they know the legislation. They can ask as dumb as they want. They know the legislation. It's open. It's open fire. It's unfortunate. It sucks.
With
Don't
all
pass
due
it.
respect, I will not be shooting any unarmed individuals.
What's our job? Hold on, are we not police?
Okay,
I don't know about
are you guys
CPD,
not
but
listening to the legislation? Like,
no,
this is you
it's
guys.
not
Okay.
about legislation.
All right. Let me.
Okay, let's just reiterate something, okay? You're peace officers, all right? Peace officers. The cops nowadays act like they're criminals and like they need the, you know what I mean?
Can I finish fucking speaking? Oh my God! One more
But I
person
was
speaks over
speaking
me.
first, though. Like, hold on, wait.
Like I
Look,
couldn't
was
even
speaking
get my
first.
She's in
sentence
a
out before you
wheelchair,
literally
Dan.
spoke
Let her
over me, dude.
She's in a wheelchair? Like, what do you mean?
Let's go back and see who talked for who over
You
who.
can't start checking them if they.
That's my grand marshal.
The barriers
Well, no,
literally say do
okay.
not cross on them.
Yeah, if you go past the barriers legislation, it's like at that point we can't
she
stand there
talked
and start
first.
checking if they're in active shooter zone, and you can't start checking them if they have a gun or not. If
She's a cop main for sure, dude.
you're not listening to.
She's in a wheelchair.
Barrier completely unarmed. I walk past it. You guys don't stop me. I then pass that barrier, pull out a gun, and shoot in the head. Easy as that.
Get a trash can. They're not even driving.
Easy as that. Just shoot him in the
I
head.
don't know about
Role-playing
CPD, but we're
IRL
cops, right? I
police.
think our job is to protect and serve and shit. Is
No,
that
it's
is that
not.
correct? It's
No,
not.
obey or die.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I said other than CPD.
It literally says on the side of our vehicles, obey and survive, VPD vehicles.
Okay, yeah, we don't need to shoot unarmed civilians though.
Okay, but how do we
Like,
know that there are unarmed civilians? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
the
a-
people
what do
they
you
can
mean?
change
How?
clothes.
That's
What do you
our
mean?
fucking.
Hold on,
Wait a
stop,
second.
stop,
Wait a
please, God,
second.
please, God,
This
stop,
is
please,
our
God, stop.
fucking
No, no, no,
job.
Pete, wait,
When you
wait.
put your
What do you-
fucking
wait,
badge on,
Pete,
you
stop.
are not a
Wait,
gang member.
how-
You
wait,
are
what do
a
you
fucking
mean?
service
What is
individual
an
in the
unarmed civilian?
line of
What
duty.
does that mean?
Your
Both
job
of you.
isn't to shoot
Hold on.
somebody.
Pete,
Oh,
wait, shut up.
respectfully, two at a time is better than none.
No, what
Not
is
better than none.
what the fuck do you mean? What is an unarmed civilian? Please tell me.
He
The
said,
fuck does
how
that
can
mean?
you tell if they're unarmed?
What? Okay, how can what?
That's a
They
legitimate
pull a gun
That's a
out.
very logical
They're
question.
suddenly
He's not
armed.
asking
Yeah, that
how
is
can you
a
tell if they're presently visibly armed. He's asking how can you tell if a civilian is unharmed. Meaning,
guys
I
gotta
can give an
understand-
example. I can give an example of what happened
everybody
today.
relax for a
Merry
second.
Christmas,
Listen,
everybody.
everybody's got to take a step back. I understand that there are some differences
Cops are
in
all
opinion on how things should be done. But by saying that, hey, in VPD, we let dumb fucks go over barriers that say don't cross and they'll knowingly be shot, you're not doing anything but adding to the fucking problem of there being inconsistency within the PD. It's clear as day that these are around. Their legislation is in place. Everybody's going to know. You guys are causing the problem by not doing what should be done.
Well, we
And
better
if
not
that
cross
is how
barriers
strong
or
you guys
it's shooting
feel about
time.
it, you guys can always resign.
So shooting civilians is basically what we do now, right?
Chief, can I ask my question, please?
Responsibility
Yeah.
for their own actions.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't.
no.
I wasn't trying to like contradict what you're saying, but we had a situation earlier today, when it was the active shootout of GG, and one of the GG members was acting like an unarmed civilian that had nothing to do with it, and we let him walk. And then 5 minutes later, he came back and shot officers. He didn't visibly have any weapons or anything like that. But since, class 2s are not really a thing anymore, you can't really tell if they're armed or unarmed, especially if all people,
So
even
he-
civilians,
so-
wearing masks.
So he left the area and then came back and shot.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Well,
care
no, we
more
wanted to
about
detain
officer
him.
safety than civilian lives. I'm going to say that is my prerogative.
Oh no, I can.
Nice
I can
mask,
tell, but
big
the
head,
thing is,
nice
like,
mask.
okay.
That's okay. I'm listening. We can have a conversation.
Here's my point.
yeah.
I have a point to make. Here's my point.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
There was nothing wrong with HUD charges. Literally nothing wrong with HUD charges. The position that they
Really?
were in and everything,
If
and the
PD needs to
legislation,
do
how they were
something
written,
drastic,
there was nothing
just
wrong.
detain the
But
people who move
individuals
over the
like Wrangler and other individuals
Simple as
within
that.
your guys' PD
Not
and other
Individuals,
PDs alike
individuals.
use the HUD charges, pick that shit apart, use what they wanted to use in the way that they wanted to use it, put
you
people
guys
away
tomorrow.
for days and
Yeah.
days on end
Not listening to
until
Wrangler
the shit
slander.
was changed. Okay?
Not even
So
here.
we'll do the
Wrangler's
same with
not even
this,
here.
right?
I'm,
do the
I'm sorry,
same
but
with
what does this have to do with the barrier
Because,
discussion?
so
because
hold
the
on.
legislation says it, we're gonna do it. That's what we're saying, right?
This is a fucking joke, okay? This is not the PD I joined a year and a half ago.
You're a
okay?
fucking joke. What we're saying right now doesn't make any sense.
All right, listen.
This is the PD. This PD's a joke.
This isn't the PD I joined a year and a half ago.
Fucking joke. What we're saying right now doesn't make any sense.
All right, listen.
This is the PD. This PD's a joke, man. Shoot civilians, man. Yeah. They cross the barrier, shoot fucking
Guys.
civilians.
We're
Guys,
gang members.
listen.
Why not, man?
You know, you can use your words. You don't have to shoot somebody off rip. You guys are so fucking
okay.
eager to shoot
Okay, I don't think this is all right. Let's adjourn. Okay, I don't think this is
God, like what do you mean?
This is not a constructive conversation that we have right now, guys.
Jody and Citrus and
I'm
play
just gonna say
some
this:
Celeste,
if
you
any
will
of the
enjoy
high
it.
command have an issue with this legislation,
Turn-based combat
they need to go and talk to the
legislation.
Senate about it.
There's a big. Here's the thing. Listen, there's a big difference between. For Jared, listen. There's a big difference between hut charges and stuff like that because this is an actual legislation. This is clear as day that, you know, the barriers, everybody can be versed. Hey, if you go past this barrier, you're going to be shot. There isn't anything left to interpret other than that. This is for scene control. This is to protect officers' lives. This is not a bad thing. But what you guys are turning it into is an inconsistent dumb fuck fest. You gotta.
No,
listen,
I think that people
you
still
gotta
have the
be
barriers that are dumb
reasonable.
fucks, dude. I'm
You
not gonna
got
lie to you.
listen. You gotta be reasonable. All right, this comes from the Senate. This comes from it's a fucking legislation in place. If we don't uphold the legislation, then we're never going to truly see it develop and how it works because you guys will set up a double standard when you're around, and then there'll be another standard that it should be, and then we're just never going to get anywhere with it. This is nothing. It's clear as day how they want it to be, so that's how it should be. That's how we should do it. And then if it doesn't work out, then it's always back to the drawing board. You guys dooming shit less than 24 hours is a huge problem. I get memeing shit, but you guys are legitimately hindering the ability for the PD to do their jobs with this bullshit. If you don't like it, don't come on duty. All right, I'm sorry, that's the fact. If you don't like it, then just don't be a part of it. Or fight for the change of it behind the scenes. But right now what you're doing is not helping, it's doing the opposite. And you guys need to understand this.
Let's do this instead. This conversation at this point is unproductive for the most of the entirety of this room. If command members can stay behind, we can have a conversation.
If they're crossed, shoot them, I don't care.
You've heard
you're in VPD, you're gone if you fucking do that shit, to be honest with you.
You've heard what both sides want.
Chief, can I talk real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so
I don't think the meeting's over. People don't leave.
So
you've heard
we
what
had like
both
a
sides
situation.
want to say.
We had a situation earlier today, right? When we had
1 second, let him look us.
Have we actually got any more meeting points before everyone just walks out?
No, I think we're good for today. Everybody, go out on patrol. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you all. Have a nice day and happy holidays.
It's fine. Listen, here's the thing. Look, let's not treat us like we're all children. We're all adults.
No. We are children, bro. People in here.
Argued one on the other. That was very clear.
Listen, Fred. There's people in this office that are fucking children. They don't know they're fucking.
We clear the room because there are people on higher
They
ups.
don't. They do not. You have to treat them like kids. Because if you
we don't. We're all
then they're
adults.
gonna do dumb shit and then get shit taken away from us.
Well, then
that's how it works.
So here's the way. Then we all know how to deal with that kind of stuff. All right.
No, but then
you
when
terminate
listen,
them. You know, there's ways to handle these kind
of
problems.
And that's what I said.
Sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
I wasn't jumping lanes in the CPD. I wasn't jumping lanes in the DPD. I said,
well, you did
DPD,
use my
you
department
do that dumb
as
shit.
an
You're gonna
example.
get fired. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But
where's
don't
the
say,
stigma that the
we're
CPD are the ones that shoot people all the time? I'm concerned.
I never said that. I didn't want to cross lanes. You know, I never said that.
No, I got you. I'm listening. I can have a calm conversation.
Exactly. But people in here there's people in here that are fucking kids, and I'm sorry to tell you, it's the truth.
Everyone, you're all dismissed. Command office.
As this motherfucker standing here in his police outfit with this fucking his elf ears and his elf look, you know what I mean?
Everybody, down the command, please leave the room. Please leave the room. Let's
you're all
go.
dismissed.
Now.
God,
Command, please stay behind.
Some people are childish. I get it. It's fine.
Get out, guys.
Look, it's not childish. You know, they're kids. They don't know any difference. They
But we don't.
a fucking titty to be
can I
on.
tell you? Can I tell you the honest truth here? We don't do anybody any favors by treating some people like adults and some people like children. We treat everybody like adults. We hold them all accountable. And if they don't make the cut, then you punish them until they do, or you fire them for never really getting a grip on everything. This stuff really isn't that big of a deal. You guys are blowing this thing up to be something that it doesn't need to be. I get it. All right, I understand it.
What do you
All
mean?
right?
Listen, we're not blowing anything anyone's
up.
blowing
I'm just
anything
saying,
up. I think you're just far left, we're far right. You're saying if anyone crosses it, kill them, which is what the legislation's saying. We're saying if a fucking mom walks across with her kid into an area, we're not just gonna shoot her. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like, we're
That's
just
what I'm
not. If
saying.
you
Like,
set up a triage point at fucking Maldini's and someone walks to Maldini's to get a pizza around the triage point, I'm not just gonna blast that motherfucker because he's an idiot. Yeah, he's an idiot. I agree with you, but he shouldn't be killed.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, then here's the thing where over time, listen, here's the thing. You guys know as well as I do that over time things change. If someone isn't like an active, so let's say the situation's a triage point. All right, the person isn't an active threat. Tase and fucking cuff that motherfucker. I don't care.
But Pred, what you're saying to your people right now, what you just said in this meeting isn't that. You just said if anyone,
because we gotta break a few omelets.
Agreed. Okay, so what we're saying right now, Pred, what we're saying right now is we all agree on the same thing. To a certain extent, if people we know for a fact are not involved in a situation, they shouldn't just be shot. We all agree with that. But when you tell cadets and you tell deputies, if someone crosses that barrier, you fucking kill them. They don't think for themselves. They're just gonna do it because they follow you like a god.
Listen,
that's just how it is.
Listen, hold on. Let me say one thing. It's like the perfect saying: just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? And it's 100%. Okay. Let me explain to you something, Pred. I love you. You're a great dude, right? But here's the problem. A lot of these fucking cops that run under you literally have a one-track fucking mind. And whatever you fucking say, they're gonna do. Okay? And you program them perfectly. And it's amazing what you did. Don't get me wrong. But, bro, all they have to do is use a little fucking common sense. That's all you need to do. It's very fucking simple.
Can I say something real quick? We've been preached to recently that we need to be very vocal with people. I think if the barriers are down, we give hey, you need to not cross this barrier. If you come here, you're going to get shot. If they continue, then you open fire on them. I don't think it should be told to people that if you just cross this barrier, you're going to die instantly, or shoot them. It should be vocalized what they're going to do. Hey, if you cross this barrier, you're going to be open fire on. Please do not do that.
That's all we're asking for.
Let me ask you this. I need to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
So the way these barriers are meant to be used, they're supposed to be on a, they're supposed to
active
like
shootouts triage.
Yeah, active shootouts triage, but it's supposed to.
I'm proud of you.
It's supposed to block out the area. Like it's not supposed to be used as a cover, and you shouldn't have officers.
For their own safety.
And you shouldn't have officers on the side of those areas because they're gonna get shot. So we had a situation earlier today, and it was an officer standing by the barrier. And he was trying to tell people that were passing, because in Legion Square, hey, don't come into the area. And then the people that we were getting shot by just came by and popped them in the head. Like those areas are supposed to be fenced off by those places, and you shouldn't have officers there. You should have officers in tactical positions. And if you do so, you can't have somebody tell people, hey, get out of the area, because they're not gonna be able to hear you. So what do you guys?
You can't tell people to get out of the area because then someone could fucking roll by and shoot you, thereby causing the L to happen. You need to be in tactical positions watching these roadblocks, and if anybody comes through, you fucking shoot them. Because, dude, if you're just standing at the roadblock, the criminals might have a good shot at you.
Really want is not really feasible in these situations.
Yes, it is, because here it is. So what you just said, it in a way contradicted itself. I understand what you're trying to say, where they shouldn't just be standing by the barrier. Of course not. You should never have yourself in a position of getting fucking domed. But once someone goes through that barrier, it is on you to go up to them, in my opinion, and say, get the fuck out of here. And if they don't, then you fucking shoot them. It's that simple. You don't have to stand there with a sign to fucking directing traffic.
Okay, so you have a GG member go through that barrier.
Brains for themselves. Yeah, we're the same people who are giving them orders. If they fucking hesitate, they're gonna get any shit. What do you want from them? Like you're I'm not really
supposed to lead by example.
Hold on, but we're basically saying some of you are saying they don't have brains, they can't think themselves. Yes, that's true in certain situations, but these are the same people that we're saying to them, if you hesitate when we tell you to shoot, then you're gonna get in trouble. Legislation comes out, and you guys have stood opposite sides. One of you said if they cross, fucking kill them. One of you said the opposite. You can't put that on, them not thinking for themselves. We told them if you don't listen to us, you're gonna get in
Stubbs,
shit.
come here real quick. Stubbs is one of the greatest officers or peacekeepers in this entire department of UPD. Stubbs, take on the barriers. How do you interpret shit here?
I think the fact that they only ever utilize an active, shooter situation means it's pretty cut and dry. That the wider public should be under the impression that if they see that there's an active shooter threat to their life, if they're getting close, they could possibly die. It's meant to be protection not for us, but for them. And them going past that barrier is an danger to our lives and theirs. So this is kind of just a fine line in the sand. If you cross this, you're now in a war zone. You know, it's always been like this undisclosed. We could have a shootout. It could be throughout Legion Square. It could be throughout Vinewood. It could be throughout the entire area. But now we are containing it so people are under the knowledge and the impression.
What is he even
they
saying?
go through here, they're going to get shot. Now, we no longer have to worry about fucking dipshits just wandering into these areas where they're going to be causing
some gas and I'll be there.
safety concerns to officers and each other and the wider public. So they go through that shit. Sure, maybe we should have some goddamn thing on a speakerphone saying, hey, if you go through this area, you're going to get shot because apparently people don't know how to fucking read. But
you're 100% right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We should give people the justification of at least saying, hey, you're going to get shot. But
you're gonna get shot if you come through here.
The barrier says there's a legislation, there's an announcement. People need to know, you know, you have lights, you have police. We are in these shootouts to protect the wide public.
What if we place a barrier on each side of San Andreas and start playing Warzone?
And it's going to be a safety hazard to everybody in the long run. It's just drawing this line in the sand of enough fucking around and pissing about.
Yeah, essentially, you guys are kind of like drawing like a firm line in the sand that's already going to cause complications at the beginning. Just accept the fact that this is the way it is, and then it'll change over time. I mean, things change.
Oh no,
all right.
It's gonna
But
change.
if we're
you know
fighting with each other on the standard, and then you know, all it takes then is one time for you to be like, hey, this person, they're not a threat. Let them come into this war zone, and then they pull out a fucking gun or throw a grenade at everybody and start shooting everybody.
Yeah, but all it takes is a woman to walk over to try and jump a wall to get to Maldini's without seeing the barriers and a cop shoot her and she dies.
I'm just trying to say this, right? I'm looking at the.
I was just thinking in RP ways, and they're thinking in just like, you know, player ways.
Safety in the future, right? So we're saying just shoot them on sight, okay? What I'm trying to say is that if we could try, even though legislation says this is what we're supposed to do, if we could try to minimize the shit show that it will turn into, and you start hearing Hell Week, and you start hearing Mag Dump season, and you have cops getting shot down every 2 seconds of the day because one of their boys got shot down, what does it turn into, Pred? People not wanting to be on duty.
Baiting.
No, Pred, let's be real here, okay?
If you want the honest truth, that's what it is.
Yes,
if you just want to go over a barrier, if some dumb fuck wants to go over a barrier,
a lot
and your
of people
group wants to start a gang war over it,
and you're 100% correct.
That's the issue.
Listen, you're 100% correct. A lot of people are dumb fucks and will just do that to do it to make a joke out of it, and it's 100% wrong. But
yeah, we shouldn't be.
What I'm trying to say is,
unless it's me,
instead of right away shooting, maybe we could try to be vocal with it, tase them. If they resist, warn them they're gonna get shot. If they start running, they get shot. You've warned them many a times. What I'm trying to prevent is officers' lives to constantly be getting gunned down because it will happen, Pred. Mark my fucking words. I can promise you, the cops are gonna start wanting to go off duty. They're not gonna want to be around because of this, if it continues. And I'm just trying to stop that before it happens.
2 points I want to make.
I don't think so, because I actually think. Oh, sorry, Casimir. You go ahead. You've been.
No, it's okay. You were addressing what he says. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm just. I think quite the opposite. I think it kind of, the barriers actually kind of help reel things in. I don't really think that dooming things and expecting the worst is like the way to go about shit. Like, what we should be doing is just saying, hey, this is something new. Let's just try it. See, normally it's me who's on the other end saying something stupid and dumb and shit. Like, I get it, but this comes from the top. There's a legislation in place. I mean, it's clear. I assume that the legislation is very clear. I assume that people are going to know, you know, probably very soon. I think that at that point, you know, if you're stupid enough to fuck around, you're going to find out. And I don't think that we... Oh, what are you painting? Oh. Perfect.
So
beautiful, beautiful.
Green are the barriers where people get shot. Blue is the dead cars. Obviously, you would have people all over the place, like, you know, on rooftops and maybe mobile units communicating. But I don't think we should have barriers blocking this entire road. So let's say this is Legion Square. Imagine the blue is the bank. We had this earlier. And if you have barriers here, then anybody drives through here instantly gets shot. I think that's too much. But if we have like an exterior perimeter with cars, or maybe we have the smaller barriers, you know, not the one with the cones, but the one with the like the blue wooden thing. That's clearly a police area. They go through there, they're gonna get warned. They go through the interior perimeter, the green ones, the ones with lights. That's where they get shot.
And that's the
I don't think the first line of extent should be deadly force.
Yeah, we should
Right
just
here,
block
this
off
is
a
felony
whole
obstruction,
fucking road.
tased, beat down. Who gives a fuck?
Well, you realize
Go back
that we're
screen, they
blocking it
die.
off for their safety, right?
Exactly. and
Yeah,
that's the whole
but
point
we
of
could
here.
block if we make a triage point. If we make a triage point on a
Subbo.
sidewalk, yeah, great example by the way.
Yeah,
if
I
we make a
actually
triage
like
point
this a
on
lot.
a sidewalk, we could just put the barriers around the 13s and the 95s that we have on the sidewalk, right? Then if they cross that, by all means. But
This is why
I
you're
feel
the
like
future of the PD.
Yeah, I know.
I just have one thing to say though. This whole thing should have been like that from the beginning, not in front of everyone.
I agree with that.
Oh, I prefer it in front of everybody.
Yeah,
Let's
I just don't appreciate
yeah.
insulting everyone. I don't think anybody
I
deserves
love
that
it.
type of thing.
I think
it was
constructive
mainly-
criticism.
It's not even. No. It was an open discussion, okay, and it was supposed to stay that way until people started getting feelings.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we should have calmed things down.
Green
right?
eyebrow friend has feelings.
Well, the problem is,
No,
it's
I'm
hard to
just
calm.
saying
listen,
things
it's
that
hard
should have
to-
been
I'm
calmed
fine.
down. It's our job to do that in
I
the
wasn't
chamber.
talking about them,
It's
by the
hard
way.
to calm
Yeah,
things
people
down when
walking out and
people
I
are
was like,
just
all right, by all
like,
means,
I'm
like,
not
dude.
listening to this, and I'm just walking out. Like, listen, I
That's the typical
understand.
response.
But hear me
Fuck is all
out.
I'm
Hear me
leaving.
out. Hear me out. I understand that sometimes, whenever myself or Den or Pred or anybody says some things that people don't agree with, the first instinct is fuck them. They don't even come on duty enough to give me their fucking side of this. I'm out of here.
Come on duty enough?
No, me. But
next
I'm
meeting,
not
Nomad?
here to try
You
and
guys- you guys
change the
fucking do it.
ways
You guys see it
everyone's
there.
doing shit or
Top
this,
10,
that, and
find
the
out.
other. All I'm trying to do is let both sides be seen in the light. That is it. And I'm not trying to say that cops need to hold back or that we need to do things a certain way. I'm just giving,
Everyone
I
else
try
have
to
to
give
dump
the
that?
other side so that we can somewhat understand. Pred would say, fuck them. And to most of that, I agree. But at the same time, if that whole thing is just the block, right? We block that entire road. And let's say it's at Maldini's and someone jumps a barrier, not a barrier, I'm sorry, one of the little walls to go to Maldini's to just go to, exactly. Because at the end of the day, man, people are that fucking stupid. They're dumb. But I don't think stupidity results in death. I don't believe that.
I don't think it deserves an instant death.
I agree.
Warned.
Yeah, we need to make these grids smaller.
I don't want to die slow.
Yeah, I mean, well, people can be ahead of the